It is almost 4:30 on Thursday. Um, if you are here watching now, you're probably watching the replay. Please put replay in the comments. Um, I am going to try this again. I tried a minute ago and I lost connection. I've been having connection issues all day. Um, but I restarted my computer and I'm hoping that that fixed the problem. So, if you are watching live, please tell me where you are watching from. Or if you're watching the replay, please tell me where you're watching from. Um, yeah, so today we're going to talk about what really works for um, helping ADHD symptoms. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Natalie Rodriguez. I am a wife and mom of two. I have two boys. My youngest is 13 months, and my oldest is 9 years old. So, what I do is I help moms of neurodivergent and gifted children to find more peace through awareness of their child's developmental issues and through personal growth, as well as giving them tools for helping their children's symptoms. So, I am not a doctor. Please do not take this as medical advice. Um, this was originally going to be just one video, but I'm actually going to split it into two because um, there's just a lot to unpack. So, recently, I was asked if I was asked about my experience with cutting out food dye and other natural ways to help manage ADHD. My 9-year old was diagnosed with ADHD when he was 4 or 5. Um, I have also had ADHD my whole life. I think I was diagnosed when I was 5 as well. We just found out that recently, in the past year, couple of years, that my husband also has ADHD, um, which went obviously largely undiagnosed. He did not have any support for his ADHD through childhood or adulthood up until now. So, over the past 40 years, over the past 9 years, I have learned a lot. Um, and I am by no means against medicating. However, it was our desire to exhaust every other avenue or we started medication. My son is on medication now, but from the time he was diagnosed up until last year, he did not take medication, and we managed his ADHD exclusively through natural remedies, if you want to call them that. Um, it made me very, very angry. Like I said, I am not anti-med at all. I took medication and now my son does. But it made me so, so angry when I would get on the internet and research natural solutions and website after website after website, professional after professional after professional was pushing medication. Um, I do think there's a place for medication. I also think that some people can manage their ADHD perfectly fine without medication. Um, but the point is, it should be your choice. It shouldn't be constantly shoved down your throat that the only thing that's going to help your child is medication, because that's 100% not true. Like I said, we managed our son's ADHD for 4 years. Um, 5 years, I think, exclusively with natural remedies, and we were able to manage it pretty well. Um, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. It can be very overwhelming when you're at the beginning of your journey, and there's so many sources of information out there, and you just really don't know what's going to work for me and what's BS. So the thing is, experimentation is key. And the reason why that is because think about think about foods or like other types of medications. Different foods, different medications work differently for different people. That's why, like, if you see a commercial for the newest whatever medication, blood pressure medication or something, um, it'll have like a list of all of these side effects. Well, not everybody's going to get the same side effects. Um, that's the same thing with natural solutions. Not everything is going to work for everybody, and things are going to work differently for different people. So it's really, the bottom line is, it's really all about experimenting and not being afraid to try something, and not being afraid to scrap it if it doesn't work and move on to something else. Um, so Th that's really the key to finding what's gonna work specifically for you or your child. Now, I wrote a blog about this, and at the bottom of the blog, I do share all of the things that we have tried for our son, and I go into a lot of detail about what has worked, what hasn't worked, and specifically how things have worked, and haven't worked. Um, so the link to the blog is in the description of this video, and also just keep in mind that this is what worked for our son. Some of these things may work for you, some of them may not, and that's okay too. um so yeah, I really encourage you to do your own research, talk to your professional care team, what's going to work best for you and your now I will be talking specifically about food dye next week, because I learned some things over the past month about food dyes that I did not know, and honestly they kind of blew my mind. So I want to make sure that I dedicate time specifically to going a little more into detail about that. And speaking about detail, if you want to dive into basically everything I know about ADHD, I have a new program coming out. It's called Glimmer. It's a 6-week program. The link is in the description, and it's got all the details on that page. So if you are interested in diving deep into ADHD specifically, just go ahead and click on that link. No obligation to buy if you want to just check it out. Um, I'm not sneaky about prices. The price is on there for you, and you can decide if it is for you or not. So I hope this has been helpful. Don't be afraid to experiment with different options. And I did forget, I'm going to put a link in the description for this as well. I have a printable that you can get through my website that has literally like all of the things that I have found that could possibly work, for helping manage ADHD. So if you want just like basically a checklist to go through and figure out what works for you, uh, go to that link and you'll get that list in your email. And then you'll have a hard copy so you can just go through the list and check it off. So I hope you have the most amazing night, and I will see you again next week when we will talk about food dye. Love you guys. Bye.